Here's the part that we don't talk about enough. A lot of folks are loyal to their jobs, but they are not loyal to themselves. Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Carrie, and if you have read Career Gymnastics, my book, then you already know that I don't shy away from the truth, and today is no different. I want to talk about something that I feel like a lot of people overlook, and that is you are your brand, not the company you work for. This is tip number 57 in my book, Career Gymnastics. And if there's one thing I want you to walk away from this video, it is you bring value, not because of the name on your badge or your email signature, but because of who you are. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to tell you is that your brand is bigger than your employer. When people tune into these videos, I'd like to think that they are here to hear me, my perspective, my experience, my coaching, my insight. And unless you follow me closely on LinkedIn, you probably have no idea which companies I've worked for. And honestly, that's kind of the point. Because while I am super grateful for the experiences that I've had at these different organizations, I never let those companies become my brand. They were a part of my journey, but they were not the full story. And I want you to know I get the excitement, especially when you land a role at a well-known company or one of those big box names that makes people say, oh, wow, you work there. That validation really does feel good sometimes. And I'm really not here to take that away from anybody. We work really, really hard for those moments, and you should definitely be proud of what you earned. But here's where it can get dangerous. When you start to over-index on where you work to the point where your entire identity is wrapped in that company, your worth becomes tied to the logo, the perks, the brand, the recognition, and that can feel amazing until it doesn't. Because all it takes is one bad manager, one reorg, one pandemic, one unexpected round of layoffs, one business shift that has nothing to do with you, and everything changes. So yes, celebrate your wins, collect those experiences, cultivate the relationships, but do not lose sight of the fact that your identity should always be bigger than the company name on your email signature. Because when the company changes, and trust me, it eventually will, you need to know who you are outside of that environment. Your value is not situational. It's in who you are, how you work, and what you consistently bring to the table. So now I want to move us into what is your brand then? Your brand is what stays with you when the job goes away. It's your character, your voice, your values, the way you solve problems, how you lead, how you show up. And let's get even more specific because I know sometimes personal brands can feel very vague and overused. I want you to think of your brand as what people count on you for, even outside of your job title. It is how you respond when there's pressure. It's how you communicate when the message is tough. It's whether people leave conversations with you feeling clearer, more confident, or more connected. It's how you approach problems, not just from a policy or compliance lens, but with real thoughtfulness, perspective, and care. For me personally, I want to be known for making complex ideas digestible. I want to be known for offering insight that's grounded but useful, something you can actually apply. I want people to come to me when they need clarity, strategy, and honesty that's delivered in a way that they can do something with, not just theory, but substance. So here's a question that I really want you to sit with. If your company's name disappeared from your resume today, what would be left? What would people still know you for? What would still be true about your work ethic, your relationships, your voice? Would people describe you as the problem solver, the calm in chaos, the person who asks the hard questions in the room, the person who builds teams and trusts other people, the person who mentors and uplifts behind the scenes? That's your brand. That's what you build intentionally, whether you are in the office, remote, between jobs, or leading a team of one. And the best part, that version of you isn't attached to any one company. It's yours. So if you haven't thought about that lately, now more than ever, it's the time to define it. Don't wait until you're in a transition to figure out who you are without that company name. Lead with that identity now. Now, I always feel like I save the best for last. The last thing I want to tell you is that loyalty to your growth comes first. Here's the part that we don't talk about enough. A lot of folks are loyal to their jobs, but they are not loyal to themselves. You show up every day. You pour into work. You make the team look good. You protect the company's reputation. You bend over backwards to deliver. And let me tell you something, I get it. That kind of work ethic is part of what makes you who you are. But the question is, are you carving out the same amount of time and energy to pour into your own growth, my friend? You block off hours for meetings, for deliverables, for your team. But have you blocked off time to update that resume? To take that certification that you know would make the difference in the next role? To build your business idea or develop your own thought leadership? Something that lives outside of your company? You don't owe anyone your entire identity, but you do owe it to yourself to grow beyond the role that you're in right now. Loyalty to your growth is not disloyalty to your company. It's not being too ambitious. It's not being ungrateful. It's being honest about the fact that your career is your responsibility, not your employer's. Companies make decisions every single day based on what's best for the business, and you need to be making decisions based on what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with the outcome. And of course, I have a question for you. That is, what if you promoted yourself with the same energy that you use to promote your company? What if you posted about your own expertise, your accomplishments, and your growth the same way you repost the company wins? What if you gave yourself the same credit you give your org in every meeting, every deck, every performance review? Your relationship with that company could change tomorrow. They could restructure, realign, rebrand, or just simply release you. And it has nothing to do with how hard you worked. But your relationship with yourself, that's the one thing you can control. That's the one you can carry with you into every role, every opportunity, every room. So don't just protect the brand of the company you work for. Protect the brand that is you. Nurture it, develop it, stay loyal to it, because it's the one that lasts. If you take nothing else from this video, I want you to remember this. You are your brand, not the company you work for, not your job title. Your character, your voice, your values. Those are the things that define your career journey, and they will follow you no matter where you go. So I want you to be intentional, be reflective, and most importantly, be loyal to your own growth, the same way that you show up for your organization. Because when the dust settles, after the layoffs, the pivots, the promotions, the most valuable relationship you'll have in your career is the one that you have with yourself. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel so inclined or so encouraged, do me a favor and pick up my book, Career Gymnastics. And if you'd like to get more acquainted, please check out the description box below. I cannot wait to see you on the next one.